State-of-the-art forensic analysis has identified that a ceramic dish on display at the British Museum is a 1,000-year-old treasure from China's Song dynasty. The artifact was originally believed to be of Korean origin, but has now been identified as the rarest of all imperial Chinese ceramics, known as ruware. Well, Jessica Harrison Hall is head of the China section at the British Museum, as well as the curator of the Sir Percival David collections of Chinese ceramics. Jessica, welcome. First of all, how did suspicions arise about this dish, and what was the process of confirming that it's an example of ruware?
Well, a colleague, Regina Kral, was investigating ruware in the Dresden collections in Germany. And as she was proving that this Dresden dish was a ruware dish, she revisited the collection of the Percival David holdings. And we talked about this, and it seemed very likely that this one dish was actually another example of this very, very rare type. But to make sure, we called in the forensic scientists so that we'd have another sort of level of proof, if you like, for identifying this 1,000-year-old dish.
And why is ruware so special and so sought after?
Well, it was really an imperial ceramic even at the time. It's incredibly rare. There are only about 100 pieces that survive in the world. And it was written about, early in the Southern Sung dynasty. So already a treasure from the Northern Sung. It was written about quite early in the 12th century. It's particularly special because the court fled the northern capital of Kaifeng and established their new capital in Hangzhou. And they could never really recreate these beautiful ceramics in the south, even though they tried the same technology, it's very similar potting methods and so on. But the recreation of these glazes and these ceramics sort of eluded them. And this sort of trying to recreate these early Northern Song ceramics was something which successive dynasties pursued. So all the way through the 18th century, 19th century, and even today, people try to reproduce them, but it's impossible.
It's an ancient ceramic dish, but this forensic science is bang up to date. It's cutting-edge stuff, isn't it?
Absolutely. I mean, the scientists came in with this kind of handheld X-ray fluorescence machine and really created a fingerprint of the glaze. So they were able to match that fingerprint from the roux dish with other roux dishes and show how different that fingerprint was from that left behind by the Korean pieces. So we were 100% convinced at the end that the science and the eye united to prove that this was categorically a ruware piece.
Is it possible to put a value on this?
Of course. I mean, within the museums, of course, we don't really value things, but in the commercial world, this makes a difference of changing from being worth perhaps £5,000 to being worth £15 million. It makes a huge difference.
Jessica Harrison Hall at the British Museum, thank you very much indeed.